Welcome everybody back to another episode of The World According to Tone. And as you can already see, that takes up a massive spot of the screen is the new Spider-Man 2 Venom Gamerverse from the Spider-Man video games on Sony's console. This is Venom, and he is a massive hot toy figure. Apparently, from what I understand, he is about the size of the Hulkbuster, which is also pretty large, which makes sense, right? I do know that some folks weren't going to pick this up, I think, because of the size for display purposes. And honestly, I've been going back and forth on it as well. But I decided at least let's get it. Let's check it out. Let's consider it. I love Venom. We'll see how crazy this is, and then we'll go from there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna unbox this massive figure and check it out. Now I've got to lean it like this because of the lights in here. As you see, it's actually quite a glare. The box itself is rad, just gnarly as hell. Just looking at it, as you can kind of see, like it's got like the different kind of black, like the matte finish on some of the symbiote there. So already starting in that sense, that's pretty cool. So I'm really excited to jump into this. I'm just kind of curious on just how massive he is. And I've got a Scarlet Spider outfit or costume or version from the original Spider-Man game. That variant of Spider-Man, or that, Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider with the blue hoodie, is one of my all-time, if not actually is my favorite Spider-Man look, I guess, suit. So he's over there in the cabinet anyway, so this is a good reason for these two to fight. There is a Venom comic book version hot toy they've announced that I kind of really want bad too. Venom is one of my all-time favorites. It's like literally one of my favorite characters since I was a kid, so, and still is to this day. I think all of the stories are cool, but here we are with this big box that I pre-ordered a long time ago, it feels like. So we're going to bust into this and check it out and see what we got here. And then at that point, I guess I'll have to figure out pictures, display, all that fun stuff. So get a good look at the size of this box here. Let us switch cameras, which honestly with this camera is even going to be kind of tough the more I think about it, because of the size of the box, right? Like, how in the hell are we going to manage this? Well, I guess very carefully. Okay, now we have this all zoomed out a little bit more. We got some more room to work with. Hopefully it's gonna be interesting with the mic, with the light. This is gonna be a little bit of a task, so definitely bear with me. I'm gonna get the light on. That's gonna probably make a little bit of a glare. We'll bend it for now anyways, but all right, first thing is gonna be getting the sleeve off. So let's stand it again. Holy smokes. Wow. This is fucking massive. Look at this. Maybe this was a crazy idea for trying to unbox this bad mammer with the zoom the way it is, but hey, we are in this together. Well, we had to stand for that because, as you can see, again, this thing is massive. So, as always, instructions, you know me. Good gravy. You can put all kinds of stuff on them, some different tongues, I love that. Different heads, hands. Holy smokes. Okay. Let us fully roll into this. Oh, knife, where'd you go? Now, I remember the first time I came across Venom, and actually it was a little bit after the original run, I believe. I think it was either in Maximum Carnage or something like that. It was he'd already been around probably for a couple years, or maybe not even that long. I guess it might have been 12, it might have been like 92, 91. And you know, Todd McFarlane, one of my all-time favorites, big Spawn guy too here. So, you know, he had a hand in help creating this. I don't know if he single-handedly did necessarily, but he played a big part in a lot of this. Oh wow, that's a lot of symbiote. That's his hands. This is a hand, y'all. That is a fucking hand. Jesus, that's a hand, dude. What? So anyways, Todd McFarlane, yes, created good old Venom, Eddie Brock. Now, as you know, I'm sure, maybe you don't, but how the symbiote in the comics got to Earth was through the Secret Wars, when Peter Parker, wearing the Spider-Man outfit, the outfit basically got destroyed during Secret Wars. And then I want to say it was in like a computer something, found this black suit, put the black suit on. It was just a different look for him, and I think that was originally what they were going to do with it. However, neat that it was, they actually took it to another level. Is when he got back to Earth, it ended up being a living organism that was trying to bond with him, you know, symbiosis as it is, and it started to change him. We've seen it on a lot of the movies and things of that nature, but what ended up happening was he wanted to get rid of it. He finally stripped of it. I believe it was the like a cathedral bell tower, and the sound and fire for the symbiotes are like their Achilles basically. So symbiote pops off. A rival photographer versus Peter Parker. Eddie Brock happened to be in the cathedral, having a rough life, things going on, I think, with his ex-wife, whatever it might be. Mad at Peter Parker for ruining his career, and the symbiote needed somebody to be with, connect with him, and realize, oh shit, there's a connection here. And Eddie Brock willingly accepted him and took him in, and the symbiote, and thus Venom was born. Now, I came across Venom the first time, like I said, I think it was in Maximum Carnage. There was some runs with Spirits of Vengeance, I remember as well too, versus Troll and Hag. I think that was like, I want to say Spider-Man and Venom teaming up with like Ghost Rider. It's been a long time, but regardless, ever since the first time coming in contact with this character, completely hooked. Just completely hooked with the character. So, big fan. Let me see here. Matter of fact, there's a lot of Venom presence in my home, especially in my Marvel-themed bathroom. Holy shit. Another hand. Look at the size of these fucking hands, yo. Wow. Just completely flabbergasted by all this right now. More like of the symbiote itself. All that fun stuff to play with. Jesus, this is crazy. Here's one of the heads. Oh, this is so sweet now seeing it. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to want to get let go now. Look at the head. Look at the detail. And the teeth. Dude, even in the mouth. Me and my camera work. Holy shit, okay. That's a good start. Oh, he's really interesting. Like, I didn't expect his chest to be so, like, plasticky and soft because everything else is, like, hard. Okay. Okay, Frank. I want to get him out of the box at least, and then we can fuck around. Jesus, God, look at this. Look at this. Okay. Panning. Plastic on his head. Oh, head's popping off. Just kind of magnetizes on there. Good gravy. I believe 15 inches tall. I might be wrong. That might be even bigger. Good God. And you can see in the main camera. Like, look how tall this is. Dude, oh, damn. God, this is really fucking cool, man. Oh, boy. That's really cool. Okay. So, goodness gracious. I'm not going to worry about some of the other stuff. I do want to get a lot of the pieces out, so apologize. I'm getting away from the mic there. I'm starting to get a little excited, as you probably can tell. We're going to worry about other things later. So for right now, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Tongue's out. I don't even know if we'll need the base out, but I'm going to pull it out just in case. Fucking wild. Okay. All right. Showcase some of the fun stuff. So we got different tongues. The head, different head. Symbiote stuff for his back. 2 different hands here. And then the fucking gnarliest of hands over there. Good gravy. I don't even know what the thumb is. Oh, that's there we go. Okay. Just want to kind of display this stuff out just so everybody can kind of see it for a minute. This one's even crazier. And then the different symbiote stuff that can go on his back. So these go on his arms. 2 of these. And then some of these go on his back. Which I know this one does. This is a back one because you can see the little... If you can see him trying to get in the light there. This guy right here. That goes in his back. Cool. The other's going his somehow in his wrists. So let's see where we're gonna begin with this stuff. This is wild, yo. Like I don't even know. First of all, when it comes to heads, we gotta get a tongue out there, and we gotta get a gnarly one too, right? We're gonna go with a really sweet Venomy head. One of the things I love about this character, of course, is the ridiculousness of the tongue and all this, that, and the other. So it is magnetized. That's fucking sick. Right? That's cool. Turn it however you want it. Oh my God. This is gonna make me want to get like at least another suit from that Spider-Man game. Like, I gotta be careful. Because I still want the other Venom still too. Now I'm seeing this and I'm like, well, still gotta get the other one. Oh, just like the thick, like, tongue right there. Yeah. For all this stuff here with the tongues and everything, and make sure that your moms don't watch this. You know why. All right, so what to choose? I'm man, I want crazy fucking. I want crazy tongue. You know what I'm saying? Giggity. So I can kind of turn. So, however, the magnet on this one just doesn't seem to rest as well. Maybe it just kind of moves a little bit. Maybe it's meant to be over twisted. I don't know. But I like that. So we're going with that. All right. I'm going to set some of this stuff to the side. I'm going to bring Mr. Venom in here. Now, remember, with the video game version of Venom, the important thing to note is that this is actually James Franco. Okay, or Harry Osborn. Not James Franco, clearly, but they changed the story. The Gamerverse has a little bit stories on a lot of the characters, a lot of things, how they become these characters. It's fine. It's like another universe stuff. If we all remember the Spider-Verse and everything like that, it all makes sense. It's all perfectly fine. And if you've never seen Into the Spider-Verse cartoons, we're waiting on the last one. Highly recommend. As another big fan, like Spider-Man's in my top 3 all-time favorite comic book characters. So, of course, that probably links why Venom's so awesome to me too. But you need to see those. Into the Spider-Verses are awesome. Sony can't get their shit together when it comes to the live-action movies. I do not like the Venom live-action movies. I think they're trash. I don't blame Tom Hardy for that either. So it's just the bad writing. Not a fan. I do like the mannerisms of Venom and the symbiote, except for the second one. We didn't need the rat battle. But I digress. I don't really want to talk about that. It makes me salty. All right. Let's get this head off. It's so big, that's how they got to do it. Like, and as you can tell, like, this is rubbery and moves, which is kind of cool because if it's a symbiote, right? Like, you kind of want to have it like this different plasticky, like, it kind of gives the look. It kind of makes it feel like it's, like, I don't know, living, I guess. So either way, how gnarly does that look, right? Now, before I put the stuff on the back, I definitely want to get one of these on. So that looks pretty cool. See, just chilling off his wrist. Can we have the big one on there while he does that? That would be sweet, right? Like, Jesus, dude. Look at that. We're gonna check. Let's try the other side. Let's get arm symbiote on this side. Big one. I don't know that it will, yeah, because of the fists. Well, fuck it, let's try it, right? Kind of wraps around, so I kind of think it might. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Don't fuck with me, guy. I don't think it really matters. As long as it's kind of on there. All right. He's so tall, he's so close to the ceiling camera. Okay. Backside. Now, again, the wrist thing, I'll have to really kind of look at that again, just kind of see what'll work, because this one, I mean, it's okay, just kind of looks like he's just kind of hanging there, I don't know. But, again, whatever. All right. Get one of these big hands on now, so we'll take this guy off. All right. This hand is sweet. All the claws. All right. Now, growing up again, being such a big fan and growing into this character, I'll never forget also when Maximum Carnage came out. I finally got all of those in trade paperback probably about 10 years ago. I've got most of the original run, but I'm missing like I don't know, 2 or 3, I think. And that was always a hunt growing up. I didn't really have comic book stores to go to when I was a kid, so it was like going to like retail places that you had comics. Honestly, Walmart sold them. So I was able to get them there at least. But, you know, again, I was so obsessed with Spider-Man. I did a lot of drawing, of course, as a kid. There was a ton of Spider-Man, ton of Venom. You know, always making up my own storylines, things in that nature. And then in 93, Venom got his first singles run. So I think it was the first time that Carnage popped out. And they kind of, I think him and Spidey might have worked together. But basically, Venom decided that, you know, because everything for him was for the innocents. Like, he always felt Peter Parker was bad or evil and did, of course, Eddie wrong. Both him and the symbiote. But he didn't like do bad stuff to like children and women or whatever. So he decided to leave New York and go out west to San Francisco, and just kind of get away from Spider-Man, do his own thing. And that was when the first issue of Lethal Protector, the miniseries, was like these 4 issues, came out. I think that was 93, pretty sure about that. So he does that, and I believe that's when Spider-Man eventually has to, again, recruit him at some point for the actual Maximum Carnage run, when Carnage broke out of the asylum and went AWOL across the city and went on a complete murdering spree, which is why the second Venom movie, that Carnage movie, is so awful, is because, like, you get somebody like Woody Harrelson to play Cletus Cassidy, which is brilliant. It's actually, I thought the casting was great, but I mean, it was like a PG-13 bullshit movie. Like, it had to be R, and if it was, I don't know, because I don't care enough. I almost walked out of this fucking movie, but they kept pulling punches. Like, you've literally got the most insane character, most chaotic evil character in Marvel, potentially, and you just shit the bed with it. Like, the casual general audience shit, the kids stuff, man, it gets so tiring because stories and dialogue or whatever it might be just tends to get sacrificed for corporate mumbo jumbo and all that. So, you know, it's the true hardcore fans are going to bring more and more people, see it multiple times. You got to play to them first and then worry about what the casual fans are going to be like. That's my opinion. I could talk about that a long time, especially with the way the MCU's been and a lot of different things. So, anyways, I digress on that for now. So here we go. We're standing him up real quick so I can get him, or I guess kind of tilt. I want to get these things on his back. So I don't know which, if they do go in a specific spot. Yep, the right side goes the double. Yeah, so, I don't know. Another one of the cool things about, you know, this character is just the sheer amount of, you know, the gooiness or whatever you want to say. So you can kind of see it popping off his back from the camera. You know, kind of give him that extra layer. Stuff's important. Now, that's really more Carnage-like than anything. I mean, yes, he can do all kinds of cool things as Venom in that sense. You know, he created basically outfits for Eddie Brock to run around in. You know, a lot like the campy Spider-Man 3 that Sam Raimi unfortunately did. But, you know, he's not really like that. It's more of a Carnage thing for that character. So, and also to talk about briefly on the Spider-Man 3 with Sam Raimi, know that Sam Raimi did not want to do anything about Venom in that movie. That's why it's so campy, is because he wanted to just focus on Spider-Man, but Sony said, hey, we need more action figures. So they made him wedge in Mountain Dew snowboard version, hoverboard version of Green Goblin, and bring, you know, Franco back as Harry Osborn Jr., and then of course have Topher Grace in there as Venom. Awful casting, awful lot of things. So Sam Raimi took the extra zero on a check and purposefully made it campy because that's what they wanted. So, because if you realize while you're watching that and you're watching the parts that Sandman are involved, it's like a really good story about the character and what's going on with his daughter and this sort of stuff. So he definitely phoned it in for those portions of it. I mean, look at the campy, stupid dance set, you know, we have to deal with. The black suit on Toby, it was awful, but he did it on purpose. So All right, standing Venom. Okay, so God, this is cool. He really bends out really well. Let's see. Jesus God, this thing is just absolutely massive. Like, he's not gonna fit in my case. So now I gotta figure out, okay, now what am I gonna do, right? He does torque around. I think maybe him and Spider-Man having a fight in the case would be cool. So at that point, I'd probably have to have him kind of like a little bit lower to the ground. But right now, just for the video and everything, just want to showcase a little bit what we're seeing here. For this awesome character, so I'm definitely going to have to get some photos in. What that's going to look like, I don't know. I may have to get a little creative. I want to get this video out this week, so you know, I'll get something out maybe just with him, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll have like a session of like photos with my Spider-Man, my Hot Toys Scarlet Spider, Spidey as well. I just can't, like, it's just, he's so top heavy, like, but he's also, like, for being top heavy, he's got a lot of good bendable. I really like, and when you put the arm, like, me putting the arm like this out, like I have, is definitely tough for him to stand. I feel like he wants to tip. I don't want to do that. Let me see. Working the feet as always with feet and ankle. Always with feet and ankles, where you want to go first, right? Wise man also once said, but that's also how I've always kind of done mine as well too. But a wise man also said that as well. He knows who he is. I'm not gonna say his name. Ends in Zilla, begins with when. So I mean that's it. That's him. I mean, man, oh man. I'm gonna do some sweet pictures. I think I'm just gonna move around some stuff on and off of him. You know, this is gonna be interesting to try and get some photos. Where, how, I don't know. Almost like attacking one of my cats maybe would be kind of funny. But you know, one of the last things I'll talk about is a fun little fact and thing or thing. Not really even a fun fact, but things that have gone on in the MCU they've led to. So one of my favorite storylines of Venom in the recent last few years is he actually, as Flash Thompson, so Agent Venom, very underrated version of the Venom character. You know, basically the government got hold of the symbiote. We're using it as a suit, like a tech suit or something for undercover agent, one-man army, basically Flash Thompson, who Flash Thompson growing up was, of course, Peter Parker's, you know, high school nemesis. He was a military man, lost his legs, they were amputated, but because of the symbiote and bonding with him, the government chose him because he was awesome. He was a stand-up serviceman. He was able to basically have legs at that point too. But eventually he ends up with the Guardians of the Galaxy as Agent Venom, or that version of him. And as they get farther out into space, the symbiote, and we then find out the name of the Kylanter, was acting funny, acting weird. Well, they actually ended up going to the symbiote planet and reconnecting himself with the home world, because apparently that symbiote was kicked out of there for being a little bit different and crazy maybe, or whatever. So when they got to the planet and were able to reset it, he came out as Space Knight Venom, and it changed the look of the suit. Looked more like a space suit, and you know, hung out with the Guardians for a little bit, and you started learning a lot more about the past and the actual background about the symbiotes in general. That's how you get to the King in Black, Null, the sword that Gore the God Butcher uses. You start seeing some of that stuff even in the MCU they're trying to do, and in the Sony shitty movies. But anyways, I digress. The point is that Agent Venom turning into Space Knight Venom. Space Knight Venom is actually one of my favorite versions of Venom. If you ever get a chance to check it, look at there's a great build-a-figure of that. Now they got our actual other figure out of that as character as well too. I'm a big fan of that. So if you're even remotely into Venom, that's one of the cooler storylines. And that's for me, like there's a ton of great storylines, like the Venomization of, you know, Marvel characters. There's a lot of great stuff out there that they've done with Venom. It's crazy to take a character that was based off of a suit version, turn him into what he is now. And, you know, for many of us, I know I'm not the only one of our favorite, you know, anti-heroes characters, really probably at this point hero. But in the game, the video game itself, not played by Eddie Brock, played by Harry Osborn, because he's sick. And then eventually the symbiote, of course, for a minute, I think Peter Parker has it, you know, and then Harry Osborn gets it, and that's when he pretty much goes AWOL with this symbiote, and they Miles and Peter Parker have to fight him. It's a really, really cool last part of that game. Big fan. So there it is. That is the Venom Spider-Verse, Gamerverse, Hot Toys figure. Awesome, massive fucking character. This is gonna look great somewhere if I can fit it somewhere in my house. This is the size of one of my cats. Pretty sweet. I can't wait to play with it. Get some sweet photos in here too. So that will do it for this unboxing. I do appreciate, I don't know where I'm gonna put him here. I'm gonna try and stand him there for a minute. We'll see. Probably have to hold him because his butt doesn't want to stand. Yeah, that's it. I mean, look how big he is. Look, this is awesome. Seeing it, like, normally I can't see a lot when I'm looking at my streaming stuff here, but I can definitely see him on the camera. That's wild, y'all. That's wild. So, yeah, pretty cool. Make sure to, if you're checking this out, make sure please to like, comment on it, share it if you want, show somebody, whatever it might be. You know, get everybody an eyes on this one. This is a cool one. I know, like, I've been doing a lot of different Star Wars stuff lately, and I feel like, especially the characters I've been doing are very niche, but I know a lot of people recognize Venom, so make sure people check that out. They'll need to see that as well. If you haven't checked out the Darth Revan unboxing, that's pretty fun. That's sweet. That video's out there too. And then, of course, recently I just did a Let's Set the Tone with Half-Assed Beer review. Josh was back to talk about my Disney trip, and then also we talk about Waterworld, which is a movie that I actually really enjoy, and so does he, and not everyone we know does. We kind of dive into why we do and why it's kind of underrated. So if you have any heart or soul, make sure to check out that at least that segment and that Let's Set the Tone episode 14, because the Waterworld one was a fun one to dive into. So but that's going to do it. I am going to take some time here and get some pictures here at the end and play around with some of the pieces and just stare at awe and figure out then after that, the staring and the pictures, where this character is going to go and be displayed here in my home. So that'll do it. Just keep on the lookout as always for any more content throughout the week, whether it's Outpost 93J, that's the world building I'm doing. I'll have that link in there. Check out that Instagram. Fun stuff I'm doing there with the Rebel crew. And then, of course, any other content we're doing periodically throughout the week, whether Dude is streaming video games or I'm putting out more content here as well. So that's going to do it. Like I said, appreciate y'all. Check out some of these photos, and I'll see you soon.